Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, July 7th. We are looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES&NQ. So there's a lot to go over today. We're going to go over all of these charts from top to bottom of our three indices. This was a very interesting day, and I'm going to explain why. So the good news is for bulls is all three of these indices took back their gaps from the other day. The bad news is this was one hell of an ugly finish for a couple of reasons. Number one, ES had raised their POC earlier before we started, when we started going trend, and then went with 4 sets of single prints. Now, I've seen trend days taken back before, but with everything so much in favor of the buyers at that point, it's one thing to take back some of this, which I was looking for. Another thing to take back the entire, not only take back the entire day, but here's the interesting part. Both our TPO and volume POC stayed down here. Never raised it. And then we go price probe to the downside and miss the overnight low by a tick. You can't make this stuff up. We talk about emotional trading and how much you have to respect these short-term traders. Now, I had a good day. I made 20 points on the day, 69 on the week. I made another, I'm going to guess about $1,000 in NQ. Had another good trade in NQ today. Made that made $600. Now, I don't care at all that I missed this whole move down. What I'm happy about is I didn't decide to get stubborn, because there's no way I expected the entire day to be taken back, number one, right? So, and number two, to go price pro. We blew through this. Remember, we had a 20 wide overnight POC. We spent time there today. M period blew through it like it wasn't even there. So, let's go to righty quickly. Righty at least ends up with a shape, a P shape for short covering. They had a triple distribution day at one point. End up with nothing. They had an 8 wide POC. NQ takes out both overnights, both IBs, and has nothing to lean on going into Monday. So just like I said, expect chop today, which we got early on inside of yesterday. If we open inside this range Monday, we'll have tremendous chop. Look how value that never really got raised. It stayed at the day's low. So there were weird things that happened nuance-wise at the end of the day, not at the end of the day, as the day came on. Another problem that you see when the market goes straight up like that, and by the way, G period was the heaviest volume of the day. So this wasn't just your typical grind up. This was some pretty good tempo in F and G. Now it definitely slowed in H, and we go out with a poor high in ES and SPY. But it's still the fact that when you go up like that, without any kind of release. Now, I period was a beautiful release. I actually made, and I'll go over it in a minute, I actually made 5.5 points in I period. But J and K were the key. J had a very tight range. When you get that kind of pullback, right? Now, the odds, I thought, when we got the pullback in I thought we were still going to go get that poor high. I really thought we would maybe take back G singles, but hold F and E, and then rotate back up. So when J period was very tight in here, I said to the room, I said, I'm still expecting that, but I don't want to see K take out I and J's low for a couple of reasons. Number one, you're one-time framing down, even though it's with overlapping a higher value and a trend day. But number two, and the bigger reason is, because I released some pressure, Now you want to see that's it. You want to see K take out J's high, and that's the relief valve. That's it. We go back up. Once Curly starts going back down, and then Larry follows suit, they generally will not let them up. Now, I did not expect this, no way in heck, to go do that. But again, I'm trying to get you into my head how I was thinking and stuff. We went up and filled the gap. I thought we would get two-sided trade up there. Well, we went 5 points higher, and then not only didn't we get two-sided trade up there, we got a little lower, and then we just took it all back. So again, 20 points on the day, long in A period, before the opening against the overnight low, made a couple of points. Then I was short against the overnight POC. I made 6 points on a short in A period. Actually lost small and a long in B, but then made money on longs in C and D because I long C's low, actually did well against that. And then again in D period, just taking off points here and there. F period, I had the good trade in NQ because I thought it was a more visual trade because they hadn't gotten their overnight high yet. ES had already gotten their overnight high. I'm like, look at where they front ran their overnight low NQ in A and C. So when F started going, I took that and got it to get the overnight high. They did end up taking out their overnight low late. And then G period, made money on longs because it was good tempo. So any kind of pullback was worth the long. And again in I made 5.5 points on a long. When it first came down, I didn't stay married to them. And then my last trade, I actually lost 2 points in K. I was long at 62. I said if we take out 60, I said if we take out, wait, where was I long? It was 62. And I took them off at 60. And that was it. I watched. No problem watching. I had the money in the bank. I'm not going to chase. All right. Destinations. Today's high, 442.64 is a poor high. And then today's low, 438.30. ES, downside, 31.75, today's low. And then today's high is 76, also poor. Now let's get to those charts so we could really see what the heck is going on here. So IWM, perpetual balance on the monthly. So nothing's changed there. Balance for over a year. Weekly balance. They got close to a balance high earlier in the week and came off it. Still a 5-week balance. So the monthly's balanced, the weekly's balanced, and the daily is also balanced. So I would call them a 2-day balance now. Thursday, Friday. Okay? Plain and simple. They closed below the 20 by a little bit. So it's a 2-day balance. Let's go to Qs and NQ. Monthly is up, still very healthy. One time framing up for over 4 months. Still looking for that next big destination. They got that 372. They got up to 372.85 last month, but they only took out March's high of 22 by $1. I'd like to see more acceptance above that. But the monthly is up and healthy. The weekly is a 4-week balance. And the daily is a 2-day balance. Or you can encompass it as a 5-day balance, whichever one you want. So the monthly is up, weekly balance, daily balance. Now, ES and SPY. Monthly is up, one time framing up for 3 months, or did this month? Was that the month we took out both sides, 78? Yeah, it was, barely. So one time framing up for 2 months. Again, our next target, the big target, would be March of 22's high of 462 and change. We'll see if we're going to get legs to get there. The weekly, now here's something interesting for us. We had an inside week 2 weeks ago. We came out of it to the upside last week. We did pretty good early, but couldn't get more. Well, no, let's time out. Rephrase that. We came out of it to the downside first, failed, and then went and made new high and just stretched the balance high. So what do we have this week? An inside week. So this is pretty interesting. And we only had a $7 range. So again, we have a lot on the table. With a small range and an inside week, are we going to get traction and finally blow out to the upside? Or do we take out the inside week to the downside and go test the bottom of a 4-week balance? That all remains to be seen. And then on the daily, that is one hell of an ugly candle after yesterday's nice candle. Now, the volume picked up. Wow, look at that. I'm just noticing. Volume is average right now. So volume picked up. Not very happy with that finish. Again, it's a 2-day balance. Thursday's low is the important one. If we take it out, we'll probably test the 20-day moving average and go down on the daily. If we take it out to the upside, then again, we have a chance to get the ball rolling again for the bulls. Hope you had a great week trading. Rest up, enjoy your weekend. Thanks for the likes and subscribing. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. $1 a day, you're getting this live play-by-play all day. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.